Hello again, everybody. This is Jillian with DC Weddings with Jillian. So good to see you again. I have with me here a great treat for you, and I have been chatting with her for a while now today. So I am excited to bring to you Sheena-Lee Henry of Garnished Events. Hi, Sheena-Lee.
Hi, how are you?
And I know you prefer to be called Sheena, so
Venus best.
So, Sheena, I am doing really well, thank you, and I am so happy to bring you and Garnished Events to our audience. It's always a breath of fresh air to meet a new wedding planner and have them tell us all about what they can bring to the table for our clients. So, I am
Mhm.
happy to have you do that today. So, tell us a little bit about Sheena and Garnished Events.
Got it. So, hi everyone, I'm Sheena. So, Garnished-Events has been around for quite some time. We've been here since 2012. We are a company that was based on, came out of working, I've worked as a wedding dress stylist from a catering company based off of mixology and realized, hey, we really like weddings. So, that became the central focus of Garnished-Events as of 2014. And yeah, we are located in DMV. So we cover DC, Northern Virginia, Southern Maryland, and we have enjoyed the ride along the way.
Fantastic. So, you really love weddings.
It's been stuck in my heart. So
Fantastic. And I tell people all the time, if you don't really love weddings, you cannot stay in this industry. You have to love this thing to be able to do this day in and day out.
oh,
So that's,
absolutely. The stress is
yeah,
intense. So you gotta love it.
indeed. And so most of our listeners are planning weddings and they are sometimes looking for determining why do they need a wedding coordinator, should they get a wedding coordinator, or once they've actually made that decision to do get a wedding coordinator, now how do I choose a wedding coordinator? And so
Yes.
we get those questions all the time. And so I am hoping that you will make it easy for them to figure out why they should choose Garnished Events. And one thing that I have seen in terms of your work is that you also do not just rentals, but custom rentals. And
We
I
do.
can tell you, today's discerning bride and groom, let me say, the discerning couple, something different.
Yes.
When they come to an off premise caterer like us, is because they already want custom service. Because they can go to a hotel or a country club and get the same old, wedding that they do every week in a different color and so on.
Understand. Very true.
Right? So for the fact that they are looking at us in the first place, they want what they want. They want their wedding, not another wedding. So they want a curated wedding for them. And
Right.
that's what I see that's interesting about what you offer, and especially with your custom rentals. So tell us a little bit about that.
Being who best would know your wedding than your wedding planner? So every bride and groom has a visualization, an image of what they want their wedding to look like. Whether it's rustic to high glam, fairy tale weddings, one of my favorites. They have this vision, of what they want it to look like. But if you don't work in our industry, almost don't really know how to get there. You know the end goal, but you don't really know how to get there. And working with a great example would be Garnished Events or myself would be we know what your vision is supposed to look like. So we have the tools and the resources to help you get there quicker, more efficiently, and for it to actually look like what you want, what you've been envisioning throughout the entire process. Hence our custom rentals. So our custom rentals, whether it's a wedding arch, your curated tables, your wedding aisles, we customize it in-house, meaning it's our hands, it's our vision. My team and I were actively creating your centerpieces, putting together your wedding arches, working with the florist so that your true vision is truly what you're getting from all of our discussions. And it's great. So it's almost like we're working with our brides collectively together as a partnership to create the vision that they want. So let me tell you a little bit about our custom rentals. Not all wedding planning companies have this, but we do, and it is it's definitely something that we push to our clients as it is very unique and specific to your particular wedding. We do custom draping, swags, perimeter draping, lighting down to fairy lights, and we can make them custom colors. Let's say you have a specific theme. Like I said, fairy tales. They always call me for the fairy tale weddings. So if you have a fairy tale wedding, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, anything like that, then we're able to look at the overall concept and say, hey, for your wedding arch, let's go ahead and make this happen. Let's go ahead and make it sparkle, twilight. Let's go ahead and add customization of colors and different drapery to make the backdrop that you like. Flower walls are extremely trending. We can go ahead and utilize the same flowers that are on your centerpieces at your tables and create a backdrop that's really, really nice. All those are customizations specifically for that particular client, meaning that yes, they're rentals because we rent the structure. However, where then you would rent the actual like wedding arch, but all the flowers on it, all the building, pampas leaves, palm leaves, all, what if it's a tropical wedding, the hibiscus flowers, all of that, we custom design it into the wedding arch. And then that is what would be your rental. So that's a great example of how we go ahead and take customization and utilize it for our rentals that we offer our clients.
That is fabulous. And I really like the idea of how you add on to the rentals because we see the rentals all the time and the rentals get delivered and they're nice. But
Mhm.
then I've seen your work on your website is like adding that customization. Not only is it visually appealing, but now it is personal
Yes.
to this couple. So
Yeah.
love that. It sounds like it's more than the typical wedding planning. For us, there are the rudimentary sides of wedding planning. You got to do the floor plan and the timeline and make sure that you have the names of all the wedding party and all
Yeah.
the things that you do, and they are numerous. And so
Yeah.
that's what we typically find that our wedding planner can do for us. But it sounds like you have, which I know you have a finance degree. So it
Mhm.
sounds like you brought all of that into your planning and not just giving the mechanics of the wedding planning, but that all of that vision of the wedding.
I am putting that fine arts degree to work. Okay. It is really, really nice. We're able to sketch on site, on hand, pull out color palettes, create a color with you. Yeah, we really do utilize the degree in that way. And the best part about the clients that I've already experienced is that we build a relationship. They really get to know me and I really get to know them. Like we may go out for brunch. Let's go. Oh, your budget is stressing you out. Okay, let's go hang out. It's about us building the relationship so that you're comfortable. And the more we get to know you, the more we're able to look at your overall wedding and say, hey, this is what they're prioritizing. Hey, this may be a better resource for them. Let me introduce them to them because now I have a relationship with the bride and groom. And now there's a trust built there. So they depend on me and I love it. So we can go ahead and work together to get to the final end product. It is really actually nice. You don't just get someone that's like a robot, if you may. No, you get all the frills, all the laughter, all the jokes. This is who we are. This is my team. And you really get to know us.
That is fabulous. So you are then you become part of their family almost in terms of it's more like a friend helping you plan or helping you put together all the elements that you have for your wedding rather than someone that you hired.
Absolutely. So then we get the calls because my awesome clients and the relationships I've built, which are long lasting relationships. Like I get the calls for the anniversary party, the baby showers. I am happy to do a baby shower. Let's go. So it's really, really nice that we build these relationships. And from there, I'm actively able to share more memories with them
Yes.
from their initial wedding. It's nice.
And I love that because that's exactly the same that happens with catering. We become part of every special event, every special
Mhm.
occasion in their lives. And that is such an honor to be able to do so.
It
Yeah.
is. They're like, oh, our planner. Oh, we just call Sheena our decorator, our planner, and they just pull me out of their back pocket, and I'm like, hi. So it's really nice. I become their own personal person. It's nice.
Fantastic. So that's, I mean, this sounds amazing.
Mhm.
Now, somebody who is planning a wedding,
Mhm.
right? and they come to you, what techniques do you use to figure out what it is that they want? How does that happen for you? It seems so esoteric, like you can't really put your finger on it. So how would you tell a client that what they need to do whatever their vision is? I mean, is that a fair question for you? Are you getting what I'm asking?
It is a very fair question. So something that I always do, normally you see brides that are doing a lot of the research and stuff. I take the time to be like, hey, where's your partner? Where's the
Mhm,
groom? Is the groom involved in this? Because if he is, or the partner, whomever she may be, or he may be, whoever they are, let me reel them in and see what their needs are. Like, what are they prioritizing? Weddings in itself is already a stressful, it's so heavy. There's so much pressure.
mhm.
This is for the bride, it's normally like, hey, this is a day I've been dreaming about my whole life. There's pressure from your family on finances. It is stressful. So
Yeah.
my goal is that I'm definitely a believer of, yes, we all love the wedding, but the marriage for me is priority. So I want both of you to come together. And if there's any place where there may be some friction, maybe it's the budget, maybe it's family relations. Okay, well, let's go ahead and tackle those together so that everything else is seamless. Because I don't want you all arguing in between. I don't want there to be stress. I want you all to be transparent. I'm going to be transparent, and we're going to tackle this together. And at the end of the day, what matters is the marriage. So that's where I play a part, where I'm like, hey, we all this other we will figure it out. It's going to be beautiful. Only you and I know what it's supposed to look like anyway.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and make sure that the experience isn't it doesn't become bigger than the wedding or bigger than the marriage, because it is stressful.
Yes, 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 fantastic. Because we've had customers who would say, like a month in, like a month before the wedding, is like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. And I was like, what's going on? You should be enjoying this
You
journey of
should. It
planning.
should be enjoyable. It really can.
Indeed. It's probably the first big decisions you and your partner are making together. And this
Mhm,
should be just like a window to of things to come, and how you all will work together, and how you will compromise, and how you will work a budget, and so on.
mhm,
And it's just
mhm,
a time of discovery and fun and so on. But you said it right, that maybe society also puts so much pressure on us, and it gets
mhm.
heavy. And for you to say that you in your work will help bring them back to the reality of, wait, this is a time that you all should be enjoying. This is a
Yeah.
time that you all should be learning about how to, you know, work something through
Mhm,
together
mhm,
and so on. That is precious. I can't overemphasize how many times I have seen that not work well,
mhm.
and how much different it is that when it does work well, the journey
Oh,
that the couple
nice.
has, it even shows
So
on their faces at their wedding. It's just
mhm,
like it's different. Yeah.
mhm. It is absolutely different. Yep. Completely agree.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think our listeners aren't necessarily thinking about things like that when they think about hiring a planner. They're thinking, and even it's the same with catering. They come to us thinking about the menu, and that's the first thing
Mhm,
that they talk about. Well, what's the menu? And they're ready to choose chicken and beef. It's like,
mhm.
hold on, let's back up.
Uh-huh. Mhm,
Before we even get there, what are we doing? What are we planning? How do you want to enjoy this day? What is this going to be like for your family? What's your vision? How? And we're asking all of these questions because that informs the service style and the presentation, and then in the end,
abs-
the actual menu and so on. And so
abs-
hearing you bring that to the table from a coordinator perspective is very encouraging, because I know exactly what that means for our clients.
I see it every day. Every
Yeah.
day. So I'm the one to reel them back in. It's okay.
Hmm. Very good. Very good. And it sounds like the way that you reel them back in is in a very nice, enjoyable fashion. Not another meeting. It's a fun
Oh,
event.
no. I understand, especially the family dynamics.
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen it. I've heard it. I've seen the moms that think they're the ones that's walking down the aisle. I have experienced it all. It can be enjoyable. It really can. And most importantly, the idea of like compromise and working together may be something that they haven't had to really experience quite yet. But I've been doing this for a very long time. So for me, it would be, hey, I already know experiences from the numerous weddings I've done, while this is probably your very first wedding.
Yes.
So you may not have the sources or the tools or the ideas that I've already experienced. So allow me to bring that into your fold.
Fantastic. If there were one thing you would want someone listening to know about you and about Garnished Events and why they should work with you, other than all the great reasons we just gave them, what would that be?
Hmm. I think that it is great to feel that you're not just another number.
Mhm.
I think that being able to call and have an open discussion, even an emotional discussion. Weddings they're emotional, you guys. The planning, it's a roller coaster. There's things happening on all different aspects. Being able to have someone that you're just like, hey, I got to vent, then I think that matters. I don't think you find that in every other planner. Or if they do, it may not be authentic, or they may not be able to like understand the different dynamics and perceptions. And that's why I always pull both partners in and I'm like, hey, what are we doing this together? So yeah, so I think that that's what you get with garnished events. It is truly a garnished specific event process and team members you're working with. It's nice.
Fantastic. I think I could not have summed that up better for you. I think we've given a lot of nuggets to our listeners here in terms of going beyond the rudiments of wedding planning, going to the guts in the belly of the beast of what actually happens
Mhm.
in that year or 18 months that you might be working with a client. So I
Mhm.
do appreciate you, Sheena, and bringing to our guests, to our listeners, Garnished Events. And we're looking forward to working with you and making this great curated custom events for our clients. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a pleasure. I can talk with you all evening.
Oh, well, thank you. It was a pleasure being here. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.